And masks are on their way back, people. Welcome to another Fly Friday 15 with Sharon Cuttersmooth EP Digital, the CEO and founder of New Age Nerds, and Nanko Arrow. Another Fly Friday at 5 o'clock, bringing you 15 minutes of the latest and greatest UAM news and technologies, ideas, opinions from a New Age Nerd to a New Age Nerd Nation. So welcome to another Friday, episode 6. And this week we are bringing you with some history, not history, but updates of what we've been up to. Nanko Arrow. We just come off of, a week, maybe 2 weeks off of our Drone Olympics. Small little event, which we had the youth, young kids, look it up on our Instagram or what have you. But getting the youth together to help and have fun within this industry, I find to be very crucial. I read a report this week. It was the basics of eVTOLs for investors. Look it up. I'll probably put the link in the chat somewhere. But in this report, it explained that one of the risks of this urban air mobility industry is that there is going to be and currently is a lack of engineering and technical expertise in the industry. And they predict it getting worse in the future. So that means there's barely any people like me now, right? We need more of those. So if you're interested, definitely get with us, sign up so we can definitely get you involved with our Center of Excellence to get you up to speed with some latest and greatest technology so that you can work within this industry. But even more importantly, the youth. These are the engineers of the future. And currently, some of these reports are showing they're not really interested. But when I show them flying cars and drones, boy, did their eyes light up. So at this Drone Olympics, yes, we got a lot of young minds sparked to the tune of flying cars in the future. And that I find to be a plus. That is one update. And another is Air Ventures a few weeks ago, along these same lines, what happens when these young minds become grown minds? What will they produce? Oshkosh Air Ventures was a few weeks ago where some people, professionals and inventors presented their, experimental vehicles, their ideas, their creations, their inventions of urban air vehicles. Now, of course, it's a very good big thing to have, definitely kudos to Oshkosh for providing a, years, decades of a space for aerospace inventors to demo their stuff. So I look for our vehicle, right? Nanko Arrow, look forward to being in there sometime soon. But they were there a few weeks ago. A lot of people presenting their ideas, their demonstrations of crazy flying contraptions, right? We're going to show one here in a few called Black Fly, who showed off their vehicle, which, it's a pretty good vehicle, right? I've been following Black Fly for a while, right? And it's always, cool to see somebody's idea come to fruition and actually fly. But, as an expert, I have to put on my expert hat and ask myself, well, how good of a vehicle is that, right? Go ahead and play the footage there, the secret person in the background. Go ahead and play that clip of Black Fly. Don't have any footage. We'll just go ahead and keep that to ourselves then and look forward to the one on next week. Well, what happened to the link? I had the Black Fly link pulled up, not really pulled up, but the same stuff from last week. I believe it's still in the chat. If you can find it in the Slack, please post it. But we're going to jump right into how this vehicle flies, the flight mechanics. So excuse me as I don't have the video at the moment, but if you were to Google Black Fly FLY, and Kosh, it should bring you to a video of a urban air vehicle, is what it is called, an eVTOL, doing a test flight. And what you'll notice is how these vehicles take off, right? We got cars that drive straight. We got airplanes that has to move forward and then take off. We got helicopters, eVTOL, the first eVTOL that takes up straight off, then kind of dips forward to fly forward. Now, these new eVTOLs that are coming about, for example, like Blackfly, like Lilium Jet, have a different thing. And I call this thing flight mechanics. Flight mechanics. How these vehicles fly, right? And will it be good for these new pilot passengers, right? Now, what do we mean by that? Consider yourself. You know how you ride in a car. You know how you ride in an airplane, right? Sometimes you're in a plane, you're leaning back a little bit. Is that comfortable to you? Now, when you see this video of Blackfly, you will notice it will start out horizontal, but in order to get airborne, it does an extreme tilt up and eventually will level out. To land, it does the same thing coming down. And we have a video here. There we go. Opener, Blackfly demo at Kosh 2021. So this is new footage, which you're going to see how it takes off. If you can see, look at that. If you are the passenger or the pilot, you are damn near vertical, right? You are damn near looking up at the sky, back to the ground, moving forward. And that's how it kind of flies. Now, kudos to these developers for getting something off the ground, a major feat. Like, there is definitely no loss of excellence and expertise in order to do what they're doing now. But as an inventor, as a developer of urban air vehicles, there is a certain term that you must understand, right? And that is rideability. What is rideability? Would you ride in that? Is that a comfortable ride? Right? Could you do that in the morning to work and in the evening coming home from work? Could you stand or get used to being vertical to fly, to take off? Those are honest questions, right? Now, I call this what to know when buying flying cars. Rideability and flight mechanics are two terms that you must know. Flight mechanics, how it flies. Would you prefer just going straight, a little bit of an angle, or would you want to be sitting straight back? Now, there is the opposite to this of instead of being flat and horizontal leaning back, you can lean forward. Now, if I'm in a seat and I lean forward a little bit, I go from sitting to almost standing, right? What does that feel like? What does that ride feel like? Is that more comfortable? Would you like to fly through the air on your back or on your toes? Or would you like to always be, no matter what time period of the flight, always be firmly seated with your butt always vertical, right? And whether that's possible. Now, if you start to see and analyze that on many of these vehicles, they're all different. Not all are horizontal, not all have a slight incline, and not all are as extreme as Blackfly or Lilium, which are both are similar, which have to do this type of dip to get up and out of the sky, right? Us, we're something totally different. One that is way too much of an angle to be comfortable. I knew you guys have ridden roller coasters, right? That little clink, 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 clink position when you go up is not comfortable. It's not. It puts your gut in your throat and it doesn't make for a comfortable ride. With these new urban air vehicles, I find that to be one of the top passenger acceptance criteria. One of the top priorities for passenger acceptance criteria. Right. So what to know when buying flying cars, always remember flight characteristics, and rideability, comfortability. You want to be comfortable. You want to feel safe. If you're not going to buy the vehicle. So can you imagine putting in millions of dollars into an invention and it's uncomfortable to people, right? A lot of companies and startups are, running into that roadblock. Like they had an idea and they wanted to build it so bad, but when they actually built it, it was not desirable. Now you have a problem. Now you got to go back to the drawing board with another few million to figure that out. Namco Aero, we plan to circumvent that right from the beginning by focusing on flight mechanics that lead to a much better rideability. High passenger acceptance criteria is what we are about. So, moving on to the next section, more developments and what's to come in the future, right? Wait for a little car to shift. I see the robot letting me know to shift. Yes, yes. Moving on to the next section, leading from what to know when buying flying cars to what's new in this industry. What to expect in this industry? What's next? Well, a lot, really. A lot of changes, I'll tell you that. So you'll notice that a lot of vehicles or a lot of companies are reluctant to actually show or demonstrate their vehicles. Because when they demonstrate it, they're going to realize, oh, the crowd doesn't like it. So let's go back in the lab and fix some things, and they most likely will disappear, then come out with the next revision. So look forward to some revisions. One, Black Fly demonstration. Yeah, it was okay, mixed reviews, but look forward to them going back into the lab, making some changes, and then they're going to come back out with some new developments, as well as us on our side, not just Namco Aero, but other companies watching these companies demonstrate, we're taking note, right? So that when we demo our vehicle, we have, solved or resolved those potential issues that we see in these vehicles. So look forward to more demonstrations taking into account what previous demonstrations have done, right? So there are more. Wings Over Houston is coming next month, which will be a good event in which some others may just present or demo their flying cars as well. Definitely look forward to that. And there are a few more federal webinars, series, events, right, that are looking for urban air vehicles, right? So a lot more support going into the industry to provide a much better vehicle. Of course, because, this thing is so open. Nobody has solved it yet. Nobody has come up with the single best solution. Not yet. Not yet. At least not till we build ours, right? Not till ours is done. We're building now, but when it's done, I believe we will be the closest to that marker. But I am going to be looking forward to seeing everybody demo their inventions, their contraptions this year, big and small, because there's a lot of drones out there as well. And I look forward to seeing some drones capture some new, what's the word? Capture new eyes, because drones currently, they're just flying around. They're not doing anything. They're not demonstrating. I'm looking for a drone to really do something dramatic, right? A drone that does something, that shows something, right? That's what I'm looking for. And that's, I believe, what's going to be next. So look forward to that. And I look forward to y'all next week on another Fly Friday 15. Shern Cutter Smooth EP Digital, the one and only urban astronaut with the New Age Nerd Nation, Namco Aero. We are the future of space in the making. Please like us, follow us on Instagram, everything at NANCO AERO. Namco Aero, the future of space in the making. Blah, 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 blah. Here we go. Peace, people. Have a very good Fly Friday. You are awesome. I'll just continue to do poses until the feed finishes. Next week, let's say I'll probably bring the prototype. So that we'll finish off with that. But for now, you have me. Peace, people. Peace.